wrong with this? So, hello everybody, good evening. Today we will be discussing the current affairs or rapid revision of the previous years in the series of our rapid revision of the previous years. So, we started with April, we have done with May, and today we will discuss the most important MCQs, or you can say the current affairs of the months of this month of June 2022. Fine. So, let us start with the first question. Firstly, we will see from the economics only. Fine, few questions, then we will shift to the other subjects like environment, geography and all. Fine, so let us start with the first question. Can you read the question and try to answer it quickly? Please try not to take more than a minute per question. That's what we have ideally in the exam hall. Fine. So quickly try to answer this. This is an easier one to start with. The total market value of all finished goods and services produced within a country in a set time period is, yes, GDP. This is the easier one. Fine, every one of us know the basic definition of GDP. Fine, let us move ahead. Yes, now this question is to anti-dumping. I think we had the same another question related to dumping in the month of April as well. Fine, so try to answer this question. Yes, what would be the answer to this question? Be quick. D. Neither.
Neither. Both are correct.
But this has asked incorrect.
Both are correct, sir.
Both are correct. I don't think so. Please. Incorrect, right?
Fair trade for domestic industry,
Yes.
yes.
Yes. First is correct, but the issue is with the second. It's not anti-dumping duty, but we have another kind of duty in the economic theory, and we call it CVD, the countervailing duties. CVD. Especially in international trade theories or international economics, we deal with the CVDs, that is countervailing duty. This duty is basically imposed in order to counter the negative impact of import subsidies, you can say, to protect domestic producers. Fine.
Anti-dumping duty is also this type of thing.
Yeah, that is, I mean, the purpose of both are different.
For subsidy purpose.
Yes, that is a different. Yeah, because the government, here playing an important.
To neutralize the factor of
Actually, yes. In order to neutralize the factor of this, government, imposes CBD, countervailing duty. Fine. So that's why that's a matter of terminology, nothing else. Fine. Yes. Yeah. So incorrect is 2 only. 1 is absolutely correct. Okay. Special drawing rights, SDRs. SDRs. This remains time and again in news, since IMF always remains in news. So what should be the correct answer? Please read and answer quickly. SDRs can be used to yes. C, no. The issue is with third option. It is not meant to fund your infrastructure projects of a country. Fine. Like India does needs a lot of $1 trillion of infrastructure infrastructure funding, but it doesn't mean that SDRs could be used for this purpose. No. So supplement IMF member countries' official reserves, yes, because whenever we talk about the foreign exchange reserves, we have one component is the SDR, right? So that's why it is an important part. It forms the important part of your this currency official reserves, foreign exchange reserves. Then it is also used for balance of payment transaction, settling the balance of payment transactions. Fine, in the proportion of whatever reserves each country has with the IMF, because it's a potential claim, not a kind of currency, SDRs. So this is just a potential claim with the IMF of respective nations whenever they have the issues of shortfall in or any issue with the balance of payment crisis, like you can see what's going on in Pakistan and all. So there IMF comes to rescue and uses this. The nation can use their respective proportion of SDRs held with the IMF. So the correct answer is 1 and 2 only. Next, yeah, related to the monetary policy. Yes, what should be the answer?
One and two are correct, sir.
1 and 2.
Note every 2 months sitting near PSP.
Every 2 months to review its policy stance.
What will
Yeah. So correct is RBI, of course, if we have inflationary kind of situation in the economy, inflation, why inflation? Because of, there could be 2 reasons. First is because of excessive demand in the economy. Excessive demand comes with excess purchasing power, with excess supply of money. So of course there is need to cut down the amount of money or the liquidity in the economy, and for that purpose the RBI is going to raise its repo rate or the policy rate. Fine. So option 1 is correct. As far as this second is concerned, this is a quite factual one where we need to see the trend. So this not exactly since Jan 2019, but this has been trend since, you can say, after July, means August, September, particularly August, September. Since August, September month, we see, particularly September or the mid of August, we see this RBI target of 4%, breaching the RBI target of 4% of inflation. So that's why second is wrong. The third is absolutely correct. MPC of the RBI sits every 2 months to review its this policy stance. It's every 2 months. Fine. So the correct is 2 is wrong, 1 and 3. Next, internationalization of rupee would mean. What will you mean? Internationalization of rupee, like dollarization, international. No, dollar is an international currency, kind of. So if we do the same with the rupee, then what it would mean? What should be the answer? Yeah, all the answers are correct, because if rupee becomes internationalized like dollar, so of course paying a rupee both for imports and exports like we do in the dollars today, then repaying a rupee for the bonds issued globally, of course, because it will be an international currency, and then accumulating Indian rupee as a reserve currency all over the world by the central banks. Of course there would be demand for Indian rupee as an international currency. So of course the answer is all the above. Okay, which of the following forms the part of assets of any bank? Which could be termed as assets? Which among the following can be termed as assets? Yes, 1 and 2, because deposits like our deposits with the bank is a liability for the bank and not an asset. Fine. Loans, of course, whatever bank is lending, it's an asset, because in a normal scenario, assuming normal scenario, bank is going to get the principal alongside the interest payment. So it's an asset for the government, I mean the banks. Then reserves, of course, reserves here are basically, you can say particularly SLRs plus CRR kind of things, cash reserve ratio kind of thing, which basically commercial banks keep with the RBI, the central bank. So whatever they are, you know, keeping as a, like we as a household depositing some amount with the bank, commercial bank, so it is a liability for them. In the same manner, commercial banks depositing certain amount with the RBI, so it will be liability for the RBI and assets for the commercial banks. So that's why assets constitute both 1 plus 2. Fine. Hike in repo rate might lead to increase in which of the following? Hike in repo rate. What could be the answer? Increase. So what would be the effect of hike in repo rate? One and MCLR is basically mandated by the RBI that a commercial bank cannot lend, below this rate to the general public or the company or the businessman. I mean, this is a minimum rate that you are going to charge. Yes. So all should be the correct answer. Fine. Repo, of course, linked lending rates would increase. Fine. And alongside that, minimum cost of fund, of course, minimum is the benchmark, but if repo is going up, this minimum would be plus whatever is the repo rate. I mean, not exactly like if a repo rate has been raised by, yes, let us say 50 basis points or 0.5%, but things are not like that. Like ICIC can go with like just raising 0.25 or 0.35. I mean, ultimately the benefit that we as a consumer or a borrower derive for a rate hike is not exactly the same, you know, not the 50 basis point either increase or decrease, but in the range of or below 50. Fine. That's why we have a gap in this monetary policy transmission. Actually, it takes years in reflecting its real effect. Fine. So that's why, of course, monthly installment would going to yes. Okay, consider the following statement. You see more of the questions from money and banking, because whenever we see even in UPSC or SET PCS, majority of the questions related to economy would be from money and banking, 60 to 70%. So that's why I have kept the same thing here as well. Majority of the question from money and banking. Okay, so what should be the correct answer? What should be the correct answer? What should be the correct answer? 1 and 3. Yes. I have said ki try to focus on such words without only. This statement seems to be entirely, extremely negative one. Extreme statement. The primary objective of monetary policy is to maintain price stability, undoubtedly, no doubt, without worrying about growth. But they need to keep one eye on growth as well, because growth is also very important in order to drive the employment and all, drive the overall economic development. So of course this statement is wrong. We are left with just two, of course. RBI Act we have 1934, and here the flexible, that is fit, we say in this short framework by RBI has a statutory basis. Of course, an amendment has been done had been done in this 1934 Act in 2016, and since 2016 we have the fit. In 2021 it was again continued. So fit 2.0 currently going on. Fine. Flexible interest, this inflation targeting, this is what, this plus minus 4% target has been mandated under this framework only. Fine. That's why it has been kept 4% flexible. Why it is flexible? Because 4% plus RBI has flexibility of plus minus 2%. Fine. That the inflation should be in the range of 2 to 6%. Currently it is over 6% in the last almost year. So that's the problematic for us. Okay, so correct answer is Second wrong, 1 and 3 only. Okay. K-shaped recovery during corona. Okay. What should be the answer? What should be the answer? Yes, what should be the answer? No idea. Okay. So, K-shaped recovery is indeed, I mean, this is true statement. Some sectors or section of the economy have registered a very fast recovery. That's why the shape is K. This is basically recovering very fast. This is still struggling, not going down actually, but struggling to get like this. Fine. While many are still struggling. Fine. So that's why you might have seen that especially the richer section amassed lots of wealth, made lots of wealth during the corona pandemic, share market and all if you see, but the poorer gets poorer only. Fine. So at present private consumption expenditure, I have said time and again that Indian economy is primarily driven by private consumption expenditure and government investment. Fine. So it's not less than, but according to the current economic survey of 2022 and 23, it is somewhere around 58%. This is the most, you can say, the major dominant engine of GDP or the growth. Fine. That's why our economy is purely based on domestic consumption. Yes, population is the main factor. That's why majority of the MNC are looking after India, because we have a market. So what should be the answer? The question is incorrect. So what should be the incorrect one?
B.
Of course B, that is 2 only. Okay, next question. Okay, this is related to the GST. This question is related to the GST. Kindly read it. The present GST has 5 rates, tax rates. You can count it on your fingertips how many tax slabs are there. Then the cess on demerit and luxury items vary up to 96% of the tax rate applicable on those items. Almost 50% of consumption item included in the consumer price index are exempted. So, like the present GST structure indeed not 5 but 4, 5, 12, 18 and 28, all in percentage terms. Fine. Second is the cess on demerit and items, this it varies between, the range is very large, 15 to 96%. Fine. And almost 50% of the consumption items included in the CPI are exempted from GST. Of course, we have lots of exemption like petroleum products, like beverages, and there are lots of things like, so of course, even this is correct. So we are left with 2 and 3 correct, 1 is wrong. So correct is 2 and 3. Okay, which of the following categories of banks can lend a housing loans? Yes, which of the following bank can provide us housing loans? Any idea? 1, 2 and 3. Rural cooperative banks even can provide housing loans. So all are correct here.
Payments bank?
Yes, even payments bank can lend housing loans.
Just like Paytm payment bank?
They can, I think. Yes, 1 second, I need to check it out. Yes, for example, Indian Post Payment Bank. Yes, They can offer housing loans through nearly whatever banking branches they have or services. Fine. So of course we can take it as yes, it is applicable. Fine. So here you can quote the example of Indian Post Payment Banks. Okay. Next question. Yes, consider the following: inflation expectation, then rising inflation, then for recession. Rising inflation and recession. Recessions, I mean all these things are in news only. Recession. So what should be the correct answer? I think expectation is fine. This is what we expect as a general, as a rational being. Then rising inflation rate implies that the rate at which the price rise itself is increasing. This is what we say about rising inflation. Fine. The rate here matters, whether it's increasing or decreasing. That thing had that thing been like a rate is decreasing, then it would be deflation and not the inflation. Fine. And then for recession to happen, the economy must contract for 3 consecutive, not months, but 3 consecutive, I think not 3 but 2. In technical recession we refer it as 2 consecutive quarters. Here we deal mainly in terms of 2 quarters. Fine, means 6 months, 2 quarters, 3 months each. Fine. So that's why we are left with this is wrong, A is correct, B is correct. Fine. So the correct is 1 and 2 only. Okay. Who among the following are eligible for RBI's on tap licenses? Okay, the moment I tap, okay, on tap licenses for universal banking. Yes, it's kind of factual question. Here the only issue is it's a 10 years, not 5 years, remember. This is correct, 5,000 crores capital base. So correct is 2 only. The year is 10 years, not 5 years. To finance the compensation requirement, the GST compensation was levied on which of the following items? Yes. There was, lots of issues are related to GST compensations between states and central government. So that's why this question. So what should be the correct answer? Last fifth is coal. Last fifth that we have option coal. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, not coal. Let me tell you the answer is all of the above here. Yeah, even coal. Compensation GST compensation cess was levied on which of the following items? Of course, because GST compensation cess was basically meant to repay the shortfall in the state's revenue post GST implementation for the time period of around 5 years. Fine. And of course, the coal blocks are majorly in the state's jurisdiction. Fine. So coal, the blocks, were seen to be one of the source from where we can extract the cess. Fine. So that's why cess, I hope the difference between surcharge and cess. Surcharge is a tax on tax, like super rich people pay, suppose 30% upper tax slab hai, plus imposing 10% surcharge. Fine, because they are super rich. Cess is meant for a specific purpose, like cow cess, like environment cess, like education cess. So it has a specific purpose, it can be used anywhere. Fine, that's the basic difference. So the correct answer here is all. Okay, next is related to the lightning. Not lightning but tightening actually. We are still going with the economy. Come to that environment question as well. So in geography, considering the following statement, generally tightening of monetary policy going on around the world. I mean, the major central banks even just 2 days back, Federal Reserve, again raised the rate. So what should be the correct answer? Yes. What should be the correct answer? What should be the correct answer? Lower value of Indian rupee means basically depreciation, the current trend going on. Fine. तीसरा ठीक है 1 and 3 okay, so how it can be beneficial? We need to pay more in terms of dollars. अगर रुपया भी कम होगी, like yesterday you were paying 70 per dollar, today you are paying 80 per dollar. So how come it be beneficial? Yeah, so the lower value of Indian rupee against the dollar keeps import base lower. No, it's higher. This is wrong, this is wrong. Fine, so we are left with just one, that is 1 is correct. Fine, of course it's a FPI sell off, that's why you have seen, because they treat the home domestic market as a, of course, fine, as a heaven, you can say. So that's why they consider, I mean, domestic market is more safer than the emerging markets, especially when their interest is rising. Fine, because their core objective is to earn more and more returns. Yeah, related to the CAR, or even we call it CRAR, capital to risk awaited assets ratio or capital adequacy ratio. So what should be the correct answer? Yeah, Basel 3 norms. Basel 3 not aware? But Basel 3 are basically the norms. Basel is this Basel committee, Basel actually in Switzerland. So there they come up with the Basel 1, Basel 2, Basel 3 norms for the central banks. Fine, and there they mandate certain percentage of CAR. Yeah, which need to be kept. But the issue here is what Basel mandates is 8% of CAR, but RBI mandates 9% of CAR. So that's why this is wrong statement. Fine, because we want to have more of yeah. So correct should be 1 and 2. Yeah, third is wrong, because here is the statement is as per RBI norms, Indian scheduled commercial banks are required to maintain the CAR percentage as stated in the Basel 3. No, Basel 3 state it to keep at 8%, but RBI wants more safety, and considering the nature of Indian banks, so it has stipulated the 9% of yes, because it is saying RBI norms, here saying Basel 3. Of course the statement is in contradictory, so the correct is 1 and 2 only. Okay, aerosols. Now we are starting with ecology and environment. So aerosols, what should be the correct answer here? What should be the correct answer here? 1 and 2. Okay. Okay. Fine. I have said please ponder over such words like where is only. Fine. It's not only, it's mainly or majorly. Fine. Even you find aerosols in the stratosphere to a certain extent. So that's why it cannot be only. Correct option should be 1 and 3 and not 2. Fine. That's why it is wrong. Okay. Mauna Loa atmospheric baseline observatory is located where? Mauna Loa. It is located in at yes. No idea. It is located in Hawaii Island basically. And where is Hawaii? US. Yes. So correct answer is USA. Okay. Next. State of Environment Report. MOEFCC. This is the first doubt whether this is released by this ministry or not. I mean, this should come to our mind. So what should be the correct answer? Two and okay, yeah, only two, fine. Because even last one is low. Coliform is basically a bacteria. Yeah, it should be high, not low. Then you will be having, you know, oxygen demand is an indicator of poor wastewater. Low, of course, I mean high. If you want high, then of course it would be a poor. If, of course. So that's why even one is wrong because it is released by CSE, Center for Science and Environment. Fine. Not ministry. So correct is only two. Next, consider the following statements. Yeah, was first fishing cat census. Chilika Lake is where? Chilika Lake? Odisha. Okay. So what should be the correct answer? What should be the correct answer? This is correct. The wrong here is only one statement, and that is two. Chilika Lake is Asia's largest, not fresh water, but brackish water. Fresh is probably Lake Baikal, Russia. Yeah. So rest two statements are correct. So what should be the correct? 1 and 3. Fine. Okay. Global Environment Facility. What should be the correct answer? What should be the correct answer? Yes, what should be the answer? So correct statement here is, here are just 1 and 2. 3 is wrong. Why so? Because GIF serve as a financial mechanism for not Montreal Protocol. Fine, but there are 5 different conventions. The World Bank indeed is a GF trustee, and Global Environment, of course, set up on the eve of Rio or Earth Summit. Fine. So please write down. The financial mechanism for, GEF acts as a financial mechanism for 5 major international conventions. Number 1, Minamata Convention on Mercury, MCM, Minamata Convention on Mercury. Second is Stockholm Convention on POPs, that is persistent organic pollutants. First is Minamata Convention on Mercury. Second, Stockholm Convention on POPs, that is persistent organic pollutants. Third is UNCBD, United Nations Convention on Biological Diversity. UNCBD. Fourth is UNCCD, that is Convention to Combat Desertification. UNCBD, UNCCD, and finally UNFCCC, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. Fine. So these are the 5 conventions or the bodies, you can say, to which GEF acts as a financial arm, fine, or mechanism. So please remember these 5. So we are left with just 1 and 2. So correct is B only. Correct is B only. Fine. Okay. Now next question is related to the carbon bombs and net zero. Okay. So what should be the correct answer? You may not be sure about the option 1, but option 2 seems to be correct. Fine. But even option 1 is correct. Oil or gas project that will result in at least 1 billion tons of course, when we extract, they we get lots of these emissions from the interior of the earth and all. So alongside the pollutions, fine. So of course it acts as a carbon bomb. Fine. And the second net zero, of course, it's easier one. So both here are correct. Okay. Plastic waste. Yeah. What should be the correct answer? What should be the correct answer? Yeah. Not by the end of 2022. The first statement is quite complex, and it is a combination of 2 separate things. Plastic Waste Management Rules 2016 notified by the center called for a ban on, remember one thing, that SUP, single use plastics, were nowhere mentioned under this rule. Fine. So this statement itself is wrong, because it nowhere mentioned single plastic use, rather single use this use plastics were came in the especially on the World Environment Day in 2018, and India placed that day on the Environment Day of 2018 to phase out SUPs by the end of 2022. So not mentioned earlier in 2016 rule itself. Then of course CPC on plastic waste, second seems to be correct. Yeah, second seems to be correct. Third is with the present technology not more than 75%. No, even this is wrong. The truth is 94%. But the harsh truth is we, India, just recycle 60% of the waste. But at world level or at maximum, if you can go, you see 94% can be recycled. Fine. So that's why we are left with just 2 only. Okay. Thermal power plants. Thermal power plants. Indeed, I think first statement is very much true. So what should be the correct answer? Even 2 is correct. Common for air quality coordination and pollution norms in Delhi and adjoining states, and this is specially. Huh? No. This is only for Delhi and NCR. This particularly we see. This particular commission gets active, especially during the this during winter, yeah, we see paralis and all. Fine. So that's why the correct is all of the three. It replaced indeed EPCA. Which of the following are the modern day people movement for this environmental protection in India? Yeah, these are the certain modern day movements. Which one should be the correct one? Yeah, all of the above. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chipko somewhere around started around 1973 in Uttarakhand to hug the trees, and then the Silent Valley was in Kerala. I think Kerala or Karnataka. It's Kerala. Yeah, late 1970s. Apiko was in Karnataka. Fine, and this Jangal Bachao Andolan 1980s Singhbhum districts, the then Bihar, undivided Bihar. Fine. So these are the 4 modern day environmental protection related movements. Okay, Aarhus Convention is related to Aarhus. What should be the correct answer? Yes? A. No, this is related to the environment only. Yes, access to information and public participation. The another name for this convention is UNECE, that is United Nations Economic Commission for Europe. Fine. Aarhus is basically a city in Denmark, Danish city. That's why the convention has been named after Aarhus. Okay, next, eco-sensitive zones. Yes, what should be the correct answer? What should be the correct answer? 3 only? What's wrong with 1, 2?
Only land within 10 kilometer border.
I mean, it's not like it always would be wrong only, but
15 kilometer.
yeah, it's not only lands within 10 kilometer but beyond 10 kilometer. Fine, that's why this is wrong. Rest 2 correct. 2002 and action plan 2002-16. Yeah, I think it is fine. Yeah, this is correct. 2002-16. We had this almost 15 years plan. Fine. So correct is 1 and 3. Okay. IMD relies on which of the following criteria would declare the onset of monsoons? Yeah, all of the above. How long wave? Because outgoing long wave radiation is basically a measure of cloudiness and alongside associated rainfall. Fine, that's why. So all the above. Okay, next. Okay, what should be the correct answer? 2 and 3. What wrong with 1? Both are wrong in fact.
Lightning is not a natural disaster.
When the situation is stable, it cannot lead to increase in lightning.
Okay.
These two words are contradictory itself. It should be unstable rather. When weather system is stable, there cannot be lightning. I mean the increase in the instances of lightning. And lightning is classified as natural disaster. No, in India we have no such classification for lightning. Fine, that's why both are wrong. Only correct is 1. Okay, oil palm, quite in news and we are quite dependent on oil palm. Yes, what should be the correct answer?
One and two dry areas.
1 and 2. Hmm. 2 is not correct.
Dry areas.
It requires a good rainfall. Oil palm requires very little, no. A good rainfall in the range of around 150 mm per month. 150 mm you can say. High alkaline rather because it requires like humidity, fine, humid like conditions and in fact it is a humid crop, fine. So that's why rain is must. Rainfall is, of course, Malaysia is at the top, then Indonesia, then high alkaline and waterlogged soils are not suitable, of course, not suitable. When there would be waterlogging or alkaline, of course, this would hamper the overall. So correct is only 1. Not suitable, fine. Yeah, 1 and 3. It's already saying not suitable. That's why. Okay, Forest Rights Act. Which of the following types of rights of the forest dwelling communities? Yes, what should be the correct one?
Title rights.
Title like ownership.
Ownership of
Yeah,
rights.
ownership of land, and maximum could be of up to 4 hectares.
For all of them over there.
Yeah, it's all of the above. User rights like minor forest produce, forest management rights, of course, here nearby, and relief and development rights, of course, if they have been illegally, uprooted or shifted somewhere. So, of course, so all the above is correct. Next, Consumer Protection Act. What should be the correct answer? Yeah, it's all of the above. Even this thing was quite in news, country of origin. Yeah.
इससे पहले वो वेबसाइट वाला आया था.
Yeah, website. So next is related to your UIDI, especially Aadhaar and virtual ID, VID. Yes, so what should be the correct answer? What should be the correct answer? What should be the correct answer?
One only.
One only. Why so?
Sir, one can lock it. अपने पास तो कोई राइट्स नहीं है इसको लॉक करने की. सेकंड तो गलत है ऑलरेडी.
No, no. To prevent misuse of biometric data, one can lock it from the UIDA website.
UID वेबसाइट से हम थोड़ी खुद लॉक कर सकते हैं. And it is not temporary.
Okay.
Permanent.
In fact, both are correct. I mean, this is a kind of option we have. You can lock it by visiting this website, like iris, fingerprints, and all, in order to, save your privacy or from misusing. And Aadhaar number, VID is indeed temporary. That's why it's a virtual identity, temporary and not of 12-digit random numbers like Aadhaar. Rather, it's a 16-digit. Fine. This is used for temporary purpose only, like if we are furnishing our identity to some, for authentication, then authenticated agency, you can say, you can confirm identity with this just VID, 16-digit number. So digit needs to be remembered, it's a 16 and Aadhaar is in actually 12-digit. Fine. That's why. Okay. Regarding PM Kisan. Yes. I mean, this has been, it's like more or less seems to be correct, but there is catch in this.
6,000 two times there.
Second estimate, no, it's 3 only, 2,000 each, but it's not times, it's a 3 equal installments.
2,000 each.
Yeah, of 3 equal installments. Fine, it's nothing to do with the times.
1 and 3 is that.
3 equal installments, yes. Correct is 1 and 3, yeah. Okay. National Mobile Monitoring Software app. What should be the correct answer? Both seems right. Okay. The issue is here at all, not all, but only where more than 20 or 20 people been employed. Fine, 20 or more workers working at a site, there it's applicable. And then another issue is, second is correct, but issue is with the third statement. Since the launch of this app, there has been drastic increase, no, this decrease, dropping out. So correct is 2 only. Okay, in J.T. Srinivas committee formed for. Is this committee is related to what should be the correct answer here? The answer is CSR. It was formed in 2018 for the giving recommendation on the corporate social responsibility. Fine, and suggested like that CSR expenditure को tax deductible बनाई जाए fine, and allow the carry forward of the pending amount in the next year, things like that. These were the provisions basically made by this Injuries Renewals Committee related to CSR. Okay, NDPS Act. What should be the correct answer? Small amount of illicit drugs. Do we have such laws which allows for having illicit drugs even in a smaller amount? How come it's possible? Small. If it's illicit, then it cannot be allowed legally. Then what should be the correct one? Yeah, second and third. Of course, it comes under MOF, Ministry of Finance. Okay. Yeah, Bharat Gaurav Express trains. What should be the correct answer here? No, not all of the above, but here is a catch. If this has been to be operated by private players, then here the bookings and fixing of tariffs and maintenance would be handled by private players only. Yeah, and not this government. Fine. At least they should have some autonomy. Then they will be, interested in this. Yeah. So correct is 1 and 2 only. Okay. One Health framework. One Health framework. There are 3 options. Third one is here. Okay. Yes, what should be the correct answer? What should be the correct answer? This is little complex. The issue is with this one. One Health program throughout. No, this was launched on a pilot basis in just 2 states, Karnataka and Uttarakhand. Okay, not across the India. Fine. Rest is fine. So correct is 1 and 3 only. Fine. Okay, West Nile virus. West Nile virus. What should be the correct answer? Indeed, all the above are correct. The West Nile virus is a mosquito-borne and single-stranded RNA virus itself. It is a Yeah, related to the viruses that cause Japanese encephalitis, yellow fever, fine, and alike like we have this even St. Louis encephalitis as well, encephalitis, fine, and then this birds are the reservoir host of the virus, even this is correct, fine. Massive stars with mass around, yes, sun collapse shrink to the neutron stars, and the other is we have this magnetars, yes. So what is the correct answer here? One and two, yes. Why not three?
Three itself contradicts the millions. A small number only becomes the.
Yes, it's not millions, rather it's just 30 number, fine. So of course, like we can say first is correct, yeah. Small number of neutrons become magnetrons which possess intense magnetic field, correct. The second and third is contradictory, small number, fine. So when it's a small, how it can be millions, fine. So of course this is one reasoning, fine. Rest is fine. But till today there are only 30 which has been spotted in our Milky Way, I mean the our own home galaxy, fine. So correct is 1 and 2. Okay. Alzheimer's. Okay. Of course, we have clinical treatments like yoga, exercise, meditation, this kind of things, brisk walking, breathing, all that. Fine. So that's why we are left with just two correct, 1 and 2. Okay. Hypertension, diabetes. Okay. Yeah, all are correct. Even the last class we have discussed 5 things that could be donated. Of course, hypertension, diabetes are the biggest causes of kidney this failure or kidney damage. Fine. So all of them are correct. Okay. Regarding International Liquid Mirror Telescope. Okay. Set up in India. Yeah, it is in indeed in India. It's in Devasthal, Uttarakhand, the hills of Uttarakhand. Yeah. Fine. So all of them are correct. Fine. It is in Devasthal, the hills in Uttarakhand. Okay. Type 1 diabetes. Yeah, it is because of deficiency of insulin. So what should be the correct one? Yeah, all of them are correct. Of course, we are having the highest number of incidents. Fine. Okay. Next is wave. Okay. Wave 1.0 and wave 3.0. Currently, we are dealing with wave 5.0. So what should be the correct answer? Yeah, 1 and 3. 2 is wrong because it should be 2.0. Yes. Only read, then it should be 1.0. Fine. See this how is going on. Read and write, and then read, write, and execute. Today we have this World Wide Web. There we do this thing. Fine. So only correct is 1 and 3. One and 3. Next, language model for dialogue application Lambda is an artificial intelligence based chatbot. Chatbot like we have like GPT and all. So even Lambda, which is being tested by one of the major this player, the AI based chatbot by this was quite in news, in recent news. Yeah. That person was fired who was overseeing this because he said that it is the sentient. No idea. So it was basically, it is Google. Amazon is supporting the chat GPT. Yeah, Google is with this, coming up with this Lambda. Fine? Okay. Organization related to privatization reforms in the space sector, yes. NSIL we have one, and the other is Indian National Authorization Center. Okay, so what should be the correct answer? Yeah, both are correct. This came in the year 20. I think 20. This is this is in 2019, and this in 2020. Fine. Yeah. So both are incorrect. I think the issue is one second. Incorrect. Central establishes a commercial arm of ISRO. I think the statements are reverse. Yes, that's why C. Yeah. Yeah, this is like this. Okay. Commercial arm of ISRO is NSIL rather, not this one. Yes. Fine. That's why both are incorrect. Okay, gene sequencing. Yeah, what should be the correct answer? Yeah, even this is not fast.
1 and 3.
Yeah, 1 and 3 is correct. This is rather slow and quite expensive, and even you can say complicated as well. That's it. Okay. Protocol to eliminate illicit trade in tobacco. What should be the correct answer? Yes. Yeah, all are correct. B. FCRA again, rather related to amendment. Yes. We have discussed in last class as well. What should be the correct answer? वन में डाउट लग रहा है कि नॉट
किसी और पर्सन को कर सकते हैं चाहे वो रजिस्टर्ड भी हो बट फिर भी
नो ठीक है इस कैन नॉट बी ट्रांसफर्ड because there it is yeah the issue is the second statement it's increased no it rather decreased earlier it was 50% now it is only 20% of the amount you are receiving can be administrative expenses so it has been decreased correct is yeah correct yeah State Bank of India New Delhi branch only so correct is 1 and 3 okay which of the following are some of the sustainable development goals which among them are sustainable development goals One, three, four, five. We don't have this zero inequality, rather we have reduced inequality. SDG goal number 10. These are 1, zero hunger, no poverty, 2. Yes, decent work, I think this is 3. No poverty is 1. Yeah. Zero hunger is 2. 1, 2. Fine. Responsible consumption and production, this is somewhere yes decent work and this is 12 yeah not I mean we have 17 number 1 is no poverty second is no hunger I mean zero hunger not no hunger zero hunger third is good health and well-being fourth is quality education fifth is gender equality sixth is clean water and sanitation sixth is affordable and clean energy then we have decent work and growth 8 industry innovation and infrastructure 9 then reduced inequalities SDG 10 then we have sustainable cities and communities 11 then 12 we have responsible consumption and production then 13 climate action 14th is life below water 15th is life on land and 16th is peace justice and strong institutions and 17th partnership for the goals among the countries for this for achieving these goals fine okay so answer is yeah okay term black swan event and this was great news what should be the correct answer I think it's easy to guess even. This seems to be something black swan event. कुछ तो गड़बड़ है. I mean something negative. No, why foreign currency? We have better option here. Rare, unpredictable event that comes as a surprise and a significant impact on the society. Like even COVID-19. WTO agreement on agriculture. We have AOA. So what should be the answer? What should be the correct answer? Yes, WTO आई 95 में 1 जनवरी 1995. Yes. Yeah, so all of them are correct. Yeah, it was quite factual. Consider the following related to glass. Global antimicrobial resistance and use surveillance system. What should be the correct answer? Indeed, its first global, this collaborative effort. It was launched by WHO only in 2015. As the name suggesting, it's a surveillance system, so of course member would be empowered or encouraged to implement the surveillance standard based on their national priorities and available resources. Of course, no issue with this statement even. So all of three are correct. Okay. Now we are beginning with the polity section. That seems to be the easier one. So it's related to the head speech. Okay. I think this is easier one. What should be the answer? Yeah. Yes. Yeah, of course. No provision. Indeed, we have around 4-5 sections in the IPC dealing with this. So incorrect is 2 only. Free and fair elections. Provision in the constitution. Disqualification of MP just yesterday. Yeah. Yeah, all of them are correct, and there are various articles under which this has been provisioned. Fine. First is disqualification. This is Article 102. This is Article 3 to 4. This is Article 3 to 5. Fine. Mentioned in the Constitution. So answer is all of the above. Okay. Consider the following statements. What should be the answer? No idea. ADR remains in news. Okay, first is correct, ADR. Second is National Election Watch is a mechanism brought not by Election Commission, rather by almost 1200 NGOs and citizens group. Fine. So that's why this is wrong. So correct is, since I asked about correct, so correct is one only. Okay. About fundamental duty and 253 Parliament's power to make laws for implementing international treaties and agreements. Okay. What should be the correct answer? So what should be the correct answer? Okay, so it was not originally, but rather it was after Stockholm Conference on Global Environment. It was later amended and added in 1976. Fine. Second is correct. Since we have been asked incorrect, so one is incorrect. Okay, next is RPA 9051. This has been in news from the last 2 days. Okay. So what should be the correct answer here? What should be the correct answer here? It does provides for a legal framework for conduct of elections. It is indeed provides for disqualification of candidate as well, and one of the key provisions of this act is related to the allocation of seats in the House of People, that is Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha assemblies and Council of States as well. Fine. Council of States I need 2 years, even I am doubtful about this. The key provision of the act includes the allocation of seats in the House of People, legislative assemblies and legislative councils. Yeah, it is indeed mentioned, but of course I will cross check once, but so far the answer is correct, all of the 3 are correct, but here I have doubts as well. I will recheck this statement. I mean, just need to go through the RP provisions, there we can find this. But so far, I mean, this seems to be the correct one. Okay, the Electoral College for Indian presidential election comprises of elected member of each union territory, provided they have the legislative assemblies. Fine. So we have currently legislative assembly for Delhi and Puducherry, not for Jammu and Kashmir. Fine. So that's why third is not. Yeah, fourth is not correct. So we are left with 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this is not correct because Jammu and Kashmir is under. I mean, it is UT without legislature for the moment. So correct is 1, 2, 3. Okay. Rajya Sabha elections. What should be the correct answer? Rajya Sabha elections.
Biennial elections to union together.
Yes. Yeah, if the members retire every second year, so of course we have biennial elections. We have the provision of bi-lateral polls as well, and those who get selected, they only serve for the remainder periods, not for the whole time. Fine. So correct are just 1 and 2. Yeah, after every second year, so it's a biennial only. I mean, once in 2 years. Okay, election commission. Election commission is important, quite in news. So what should be the correct answer here?
Both the number and tenure of election commissioners are decided by the chief.
Even this has been in news just this month only. I think in the first week of this month, because Supreme Court came up with a judgment related to the appointment of or the power of ECs, election commissioners. So yeah, 1 and 3 is correct. Problem is with second statement, number and tenure of election commissioner decided by the chief election commissioner. No, had this been the case, I mean, then there won't be equality in terms of decisions and all. But they have, in terms of decisions, all have similar powers. Fine. So this negate this statement. Rather, I mean in provision 3, article 324 clause 2 says, for this particular second statement, article 324 clause 2 says what, I mean the recently Supreme Court mentioned under its judgment, and this says that you know, the number and tenure of the EC's election commissioners, 2 we have currently, shall be subject to the provisions of any law made in that behalf by the Parliament. And this is what the Supreme Court, that's why I stepped in, because after 7 decades of, you know, this Parliament has not yet come up with such law, because had there been such case, then of course the executive primacy of appointing such persons would be, yeah. So that's, yeah, that case was basically because of that issue. Yeah, so that's why now the appointment, there would be appointment committee like CBI director appointments, like leader of opposition would be there, prime minister and CJI. Fine, that's why provision has been made by the court. So wrong 2 is wrong. We are left with 1 and 3. Next, regarding Lok Adalats, what should be the correct answer related to Lok Adalat? What should be the correct related to Lok Adalat? 1 and 2. Every award made by Lok Adalat shall be final, binding on all parties to the dispute. What's wrong with this? Had it not been the case, then nobody would be interested in Lok Adalat.
Every word shall be legal.
Yeah, it is binding. It is binding. Yeah, it cannot be appealed further. That's why it's a kind of Lok Adalat. That's why you see the number of thousands of cases, you know, just solved in a single day. So we have this all of the above. Next is Bhakti movement, now history, art and culture. Okay, so what should be the correct answer here? What should be the correct answer? Yeah, why? First is wrong? Yeah, it's first in not north but south, and that was during 7th century around, Sangam age and all. Much later in north, during medieval times like 14th, 15th centuries. Guru Nanak Dev Ji, 1469 birth here. So, fine, rest 2 are fine. So 2 and 3. Okay, Baikho festival, a spring festival is celebrated in the state of. It's Assam only. Even last class we discussed one of the festivals related to tribes, and it was related to Assam only. Okay, next is easier one, Khir Bhavani temple. Where? Yeah, Jammu and Kashmir. Next. Yes, what should be the correct answer? No, the issue is with the first one. All the museums under the control of Ministry of Culture, no. Like we have railway museums, so railway ministry look after. We have craft and textile museum, Ministry of Textile. Fine. Then we have food museum. Fine. So different museums under control or managed by different ministries. So that's why 1 is wrong. 2 and 3 are correct. 2 and 3, not 1 and 3. Fine. Okay, India is the largest sugar producer in the world. What should be the answer? What should be the answer? Yeah, India is not the largest producer, rather Brazil is the largest producer and exporter both. India is second largest producer. Sugar Development Fund, of course, this is correct through an act of parliament. According the export subsidy provided by the government to the sugar mills cannot exceed 10%, not 15%. So only 2. Okay, regarding India's Project 75I, defense. No, first is not nuclear but conventional submarines, like diesel and electric based, not nuclear. So that's where 1 is wrong, 2 and 3 is correct. Fine? Yeah, not nuclear. Okay. State Food Safety Index. What should be the correct answer? One and 2. No, this is not by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, but rather FSI. Food Safety and Standards Authority of India. Yeah, FSI. Fine. That's why 1 is wrong, 2 is correct. So correct is 2 only. Okay. Regarding EPI. Regarding EPI, idea? Okay, so this is released by not UN Environment but rather Yale and Columbia University, the researchers of these two universities. It ranks countries based on, of course, it's correct. India was placed at the top 10. No, it was placed at 180th rank among 180 countries. That's why we rejected this, because we are quite doing well on the other parameters like solar energy, like green and all, but still in terms of environment performance we are getting last, I mean even worse than Afghanistan and all these countries. So how come this possible? That's why government rejected this. Fine. So correct is 2 only. Okay, which of the following countries border Mediterranean Sea? Now related to the locations. Mediterranean Sea. Greece, Italy, Tunisia, Bulgaria. Greece, Italy, Tunisia. Yeah, what should be the answer? Okay, we have Italy here, here we have Greece, here we have this Tunisia. Fine, in terms of the locations with respect to your what? Yeah, Mediterranean Sea, Bulgaria is not there. Fine, so the answer is 1, 2, 3 only. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 only. Yeah. Sunda Strait, sometimes seen in news, separates. This is easier one. Sunda Strait separates. Islands located in Indonesia basically, in Indian Ocean itself. No idea? It basically separates Java and Sumatra and rather connects Java Sea to the Indian Ocean. It separates Java and Sumatra in the Indonesia itself. These are Indonesian islands in the Indian Ocean, and it connects Java with Indian Ocean, Java Sea with the Indian Ocean. Fine. Which of the following passes connect India and China? Any idea? India and China connected by which among the following passes? You write down a bit about these important, I mean these are the important ones because of China's confrontation. This has been in news. So Banihal Pass is basically a popular pass in J&K, situated in basically the Pir Panjal range, and it connects Banihal with Kazigund. Just write down this much. Banihal Pass is in Jammu and Kashmir, situated in Pir Panjal range. Shipkila is located Shipkila rather connects Himachal Pradesh and Tibet. And it is India's third border post for trade with China after Lipu Lake and Nathula. Shipkila is India's third border post for trade with China after Lipu Lake and Nathula Pass. Fine. So, 3 passes in total connects India and China, that is Lipu Lake, Shipkila and Nathula, not Banihal. Fine. Fine. So, Banihal is not there, rather Lipu Lake, Shipkila and Nathula. There are 3 passes which connects India and China, especially the border post trade. Fine. I think that's it. We have finished before time. Any doubt anywhere? Which one? Oh, RPA? Legislative Council? Okay, I will check it and confirm in the next class. Fine. I will definitely check it once. Just need to go through the RPA provisions. Okay. Okay, so that's it for the day. Thank you so much. If you have any query, you can put the same in the comment section. Thank you.